Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Deluxe class Autobot Skids from the all-new Transformers Legacy line from Hasbro. I was able to find this on Amazon.com, so he may still be available. Him and RC were kind of going in and out of stock, but people have been finding them in stores and things, so it should be any time now that they really start to pop everywhere like Walmarts and Targets and whatnot. Love the new packaging. I love the art style, the color scheme, everything about that. Kind of still wish there was that little window of plastic here because you can kind of reach right in and touch the figure. It's not a huge problem. I just wish, kind of keep the figure separate from just people handling the boxes and whatnot. But love the artwork over here on the side, close up of the head. Got the robot mode down here. Over on this side, we have that standard Autobot mural that we have going on here, so that's pretty cool. Got the Legacy symbol up top. Not too much going on the bottom. Spin around to the back. We have the robot mode. We have the vehicle mode. We get a look at the weapons that are included. He's got another translucent blue axe-looking weapon there. Seems like every figure in this line is going to have some kind of translucent plastic weapon. I guess that's the gimmick this year. And then it looks like we have a QR code here for the tech specs, which is actually kind of neat. So that's pretty much it for the packaging. Pretty standard. You can see mine, as it came from Amazon, it's a little beat up, but not too bad. Let's go ahead. Let's get him out of the box here, and we'll take a closer look. So here is Skids out of the packaging. He looks pretty fantastic. Really nice, clean robot mode. The only real kibble he has is kind of this panel here on the back and the two doors. But of course, the doors add to his overall look. Very G1 accurate. I love the head sculpt. It's simple, but it totally works. Really nice blue paint there for the eyes, and the silver on the face looks great. Nice big Autobot symbol here. The headlights and the grille of the car painted very nicely. The stripe down the side of the car on the wings here looks great. And you'll see that again down here on the legs when we transform him into vehicle mode. Just overall, I really, really like him. I think he looks absolutely fantastic. Head can move side to side. It's on a limited ball joint, so you can kind of look up and down a tiny little bit, but not much. And you can't really tilt side to side all that much, but you can certainly look side to side, no problem. The shoulder has a couple joints here. You have this joint here, which you use for the transformation. You also have this swivel here. Then you have this swivel. The actual blue part can swivel around the wheel there. So you can kind of get a decent amount of movement. I kind of wish this locked in better, because when you're moving this around and you want to move this around, it's very easy to kind of move everything else. Not a big problem or anything, just kind of wish that locked in a little bit better. You have a bicep swivel there. You have 90 degrees in the elbow. You have a wrist swivel, so you can move that around. It's a little tight on mine, but you can move it, I promise. You have a waist swivel here. Really nice range of motion in the hips. You can kick really far forward. You can kick really far back until you about hit that part on the back, but still a nice range of motion there. You can kick out to the side, no problem. You do have a thigh swivel. It's kind of nicely hidden, which is kind of cool. You have a little over 90 degrees there in the knee. And then, of course, you have the ankle tilt. So really, really looks good. I like him a lot. Like I said, very G1 accurate. The last time we saw Skids was that kind of IDW-inspired, like Skids during the Thrilling 30s line. And I mean, it was okay at the time, but now that I have this one, I like this one so much more. He really, really looks good. He does come with a couple of accessories. He's got two guns, which are kind of basic in their own right, but nicely painted silver, which appears to be over top of black plastic. Now you can use either of these separately, or you can kind of connect them together. You can peg this in under here, and then give him kind of like a super gun, and you can just peg that into his hand, no problem like that. He also comes with the translucent blue axe piece, which he can either hold down here on this handle to use it as an axe, or you can take this and peg it in here and have him use it as a gun. You can see kind of the giant gun barrel there. So it's okay. I don't need this accessory, I'll be honest. I'm happy enough with these. And even this could have been a little bit more simple, in my opinion. You can actually attach this to the top of here as well if you want to make a super gun. You can kind of connect that in there and make that into one giant gun. Again, it's all right. It's not the best play pattern, in my opinion, but it's fine. It doesn't get in the way of anything. If you don't want to worry about it, you can just kind of put it all off to the side. It's really not that big a deal. But overall, in robot mode, I think he looks fantastic. And you can move the wings a little bit, so if you kind of want to put them back a little bit, if you like that look a little bit more, if you want them all the way out, you can do that too, so you have a little bit of option there. But just overall, paint application's really sharp, nice clean robot mode, nice articulation. Really like them quite a bit. Transformation is a little finicky, but really not all that difficult. You're going to start by kind of putting the arms out to the side. Kind of straighten them out like that. You're going to lift this whole torso section up. And then he's actually got kind of an ab crunch. So what you're going to do is kind of take this whole section and push it back. And then bring the legs forward at the hips. Like so. And then this is going to kind of pop in here and kind of just make him a little bit extra short. And then you're going to kind of leave this up here. And then you're going to rotate the wheels so that they are facing up. And then you want to bring this in. You kind of want to rotate this at the bicep as well, so that when you bring this in, the wheel will go where it's supposed to go. And then you can bring the arm down. And there is a tiny little tab. Let me zoom in here. Right here. That will peg into the underarm. And it's a little weird to determine how that's going to peg in, because there's not like an obvious spot on the bottom of the forearm. But you just kind of bring it down and it will peg into place. Just kind of bringing this here, and it'll kind of like lightly tab in, just kind of like that. And you can kind of see where it's meant to go because there's kind of like a beveled out area there. So we'll do that again. We will bring this in, rotate the wheel so that's up, rotate the bicep, bring this in, and then kind of just bring this down and lightly tab that into place. Then you're going to come to the legs and you're going to push them together like so. You're going to bring the entire shin pieces forward like this, and then you're going to bend it. You can see where it bends right here. That's going to bend down. Okay. Sometimes it can be a little tight, at least on mine. There we go. So you can tell where it's supposed to stop when everything sits flush. Peg that back together. So you can see we pretty much have the entire vehicle mode at this point. This is kind of the most difficult spot, at least for me. You have to kind of rock this back. You can see this large translucent peg here has to fit behind that red crotch plate. So you kind of have to bring this back, make sure that this is lifted up, and then it's a little difficult, but you can get it in there. And then there are these tiny little tabs right there and there that are going to fit in, and you kind of just have to like wiggle that back until they kind of drop where they're supposed to go. And it's very obvious once they do. You can kind of hear them click into place when you do so. You can flip these wheels out on the back as well. And then you kind of have to bring this in. It's hard to see, but there are two little tabs and then two tab slots on the top, or I should say underneath the top of the roof. And you have to kind of get them to click into place. And it's very difficult to do, and mine does not want to do it. Like, it'll kind of do it for a second, but then it won't stay in place. Oh, that's kind of the best I've seen. Then you're going to just bring the doors in. There's a tab here and a tab spot right there. So you're just going to close that up. And I don't have everything 100% lined up, unfortunately, because it can be a little difficult. But you can kind of see this is what I'm left with. The roof just won't... See, you can see the tab under there. It just won't really stay. And I don't know if that's because I have something transformed wrong. I've done it a couple times at this point. But it just won't really stay. I mean, it's not a huge problem. The vehicle mode you're left with still works. It rolls nicely. It looks really good. That racing stripe down the side really, really looks nice. I like that quite a bit. It's just a bit of a shame because you can kind of see the space there, because that just will not tab in. And like, it'll kind of tab, but then it just pops right back out. So I'm not 100% sure why that won't stay. Maybe over time it'll get a little bit better. But it's not a huge problem. Like I said, still rolls well. Still looks good. I still like the look of this little vehicle mode quite a bit. It's a very 80s inspired vehicle, which I love. And you still have that peg hole in the top, so if you want to take your giant super gun and peg that to the top, you can. Otherwise, you can peg different spots over here or over here. You can take the gun apart, put one on the top, put two on the side, one on each side, however you like it. You might even be able to peg into the side of the wheel there. Is that a possibility? You can. You can peg into the side of the wheel if you like. So there's another option for you. Underneath looks pretty clean. You can see he's got the peg holes on the bottom of his feet, so you can use weaponizers and things like that that have come out previously. You can see the robot head, but other than that, really not too much robot kibble going on under there. So with the exception of my roof not pegging all the way in, He's pretty great. And like I said, it could be something I'm doing. I'm hoping it's not a QC issue for everybody. See, that side will peg in pretty easily. But then I can't really get this side to follow suit. So it is what it is. But it's still a really cool little vehicle mode. I like it a lot. I think Skids is a lot of fun. He's not perfect. He has a few little issues, but for the most part, I really like him a lot. I think the robot mode looks great, very clean, not a lot of kibble on him. Just the car doors, which kind of add to his look, so it makes total sense. I think the vehicle mode is a lot of fun, very 80s inspired G1 vehicle mode, which I love. Just a little problem with mine that the roof won't click all the way into place, but it's not a huge problem, and I'm hoping that's just a QC issue with mine. Hopefully that's not with all of them. But I definitely still recommend picking him up. I think it's definitely the best Skids we've ever had. I know he doesn't get a lot of figures throughout the years. He's kind of a very obscure G1 character, but I'm very happy to add this one to my collection. The weapons are okay. I mean, they're fine. The guns are all right. The translucent blue axe is what it is. Not really something that draws me to the line, but it's just kind of a superfluous add-on. You can take it or leave it if you don't care about it. Just put it off to the side. If you want to have some fun with it, it's there. It's just kind of take it or leave it. But otherwise, I really think the figure is fantastic, and I definitely recommend picking them up. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.